Should I use Diamox to climb Kilimanjaro? Acute mountain sickness, otherwise known as altitude sickness, is the main cause for failing to reach the summit of Kilimanjaro. At 19,341 feet tall, the mountain's peak lies in the extreme altitude category, which is anything above 18,000 feet. The standard prescription drug used to prevent and treat AMS is acetazolamide. The drug is also known by the brand name Diamox. The Food and Drug Administration first approved acetazolamide in 1953. Studies have shown that Diamox at a dose of 250 milligrams every 8 to 12 hours before and during a rapid ascent results in fewer and less severe symptoms of AMS. It's actually quite fascinating how Diamox works in the body. 90% of carbon dioxide in the blood exists in a chemical called bicarbonate. Diamox facilitates the excretion of bicarbonate, which makes the blood more acidic. When the blood gets acidic, the body believes it has more carbon dioxide in it. To get rid of this excess carbon dioxide, the body increases ventilation. In other words, the user breathes deeper and faster to get rid of the carbon dioxide, and in turn, the user also takes in more oxygen. So, the medication works by acidifying the blood, which causes an increase in respiration, which increases oxygen intake. This is ultimately what helps prevent and treat altitude sickness. Without Diamox, to adapt to higher altitude, the body counteracts the decrease in oxygen in the atmosphere by instinctively breathing faster and deeper. Diamox does the same, albeit through chemistry, to speed up the acclimatization process. Diamox does not mask symptoms of AMS, it treats it. The FDA approved the use of Diamox to prevent and treat altitude sickness. Therefore, if you feel relief after taking Diamox, you are actually better. The manufacturer recommends Diamox to be used as a preventative measure, taken 24 to 48 hours prior to rapid ascent and throughout your climb. But some people use it as a treatment, taking it only when symptoms of AMS arise. The medicine should be continued until you are below the altitude where symptoms became bothersome. Diamox is used for other purposes, like treating glaucoma, epilepsy, and fluid retention. So it's worth noting that the drug may be doing other things in the body besides increasing pulmonary function. It's a personal choice whether or not to take Diamox as a preventative measure against AMS. One should not take any drug without considering all the consequences, whether good or bad, and that's why Ultimate Kilimanjaro neither recommends nor discourages using Diamox. The decision is up to the climber. To be clear, I'm not a medical professional and I'm not giving medical advice. For expert advice, discuss this matter with your doctor or travel clinic. But here's my personal opinion. For those who have hiked at high altitude before, you might have an idea of where your limits are in terms of rate of ascent. If you do, then reviewing the route profile and itineraries will be helpful in your decision whether or not to use Diamox. Though I have nothing against it, I personally have not used Diamox. I've climbed Kilimanjaro in as little as 6 days and in as many as 9 days. I felt mild symptoms of altitude sickness, including headache or nausea, on Kilimanjaro and other peaks about a dozen times in my life. But in every instance, I've been able to recover within hours simply by drinking water and not going any higher. Given my experience at altitude, I'm very aware of when I might get AMS. I can reasonably predict when I might feel symptoms of AMS, and I also have a good idea of when and how I can recover if I do get it. Due to these factors, I choose not to take Diamox on Kilimanjaro. For those who have not tested themselves at higher elevations, the choice is much harder. I think nearly everyone would like to summit without taking Diamox. But at the same time, I think most people would rather summit with Diamox than not summit at all. And because of this, taking Diamox for most people makes sense, as it definitely increases the chances of reaching the top. It also increases the level of safety. So what are the drawbacks? There are some side effects to taking the drug. These side effects include tingling hands, increased urination, hearing loss, taste loss, lightheadedness, upset stomach, vomiting, and diarrhea. Unfortunately, some of the side effects of taking Diamox are the same as the symptoms of AMS, so it's very possible that the side effects of Diamox might be mistaken for AMS, and you'd be turned around on the mountain when you might have otherwise felt fine. To avoid this scenario, you should be absolutely sure that you don't have an adverse reaction to Diamox before using it on the mountain. It's important that you take it for a day or two while in the comfort of your home to see what the effects are. If you experience any side effects that might be confused with altitude sickness or any side effects that you're not okay with, it's probably best that you don't use it on Kilimanjaro. Finally, there are prescription medications and natural supplements that combat altitude sickness. I discussed these in 2 separate videos, linked in the description below. I'm Kevin with Ultimate Kilimanjaro. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you found this video helpful, and join our Facebook discussion group to connect with other climbers. For the most complete and accurate information on climbing Kilimanjaro, visit us at ultimatekilimanjaro.com. I'll see you on the summit.